Yeah, Shahana, welcome. Shahana could read what you have written, no? Probably.
Should I read?
Yeah, that's where we could start, Shahana.
Okay, okay. Just give me
You,
1 minute.
yeah, you tell the problem and then probably you could also read it.
Okay. Huh. I hope everybody is audible. Thank you so much, Dr. TPS, for helping me out for framing this abstract. I especially focused on the listening skills because which I found it in my preschoolers. The children don't listen. Quite often the parents keep on saying that मेरा बच्चा सुनता नहीं है. So I thought of framing something related to that. So this is the title of my abstract, Enhancing Listening Skills in Preschoolers, the Power of Active Listening. And the abstract is, this research highlights the importance of developing listening skills in early childhood at the early child care center and emphasizes the role of active listening in language acquisition and communication. Listening is described as an art that should be cultivated from an early age as it serves as a fundamental building block for learning and performance. This research acknowledges that without careful listening, a child's ability to communicate effectively and participate in various activities may be hindered. It emphasizes that activity, listening facilitates vocabulary development, language proficiency, and grammatical understanding through exposure to diverse spoken languages. Given the limited attention span of young learners, research suggests that the need for engaging and straightforward activities to achieve desired outcomes kept in observation to derive the result for analysis. Two activity ideas are proposed. The use of 8 boxes with pair of objects that emit similar sounds and a sound video where students are engaged to identify as many sounds as possible while keeping their eyes closed. Incorporating such activities in the preschool curriculum can help foster active listening skill and enhance overall language development in children. Many more such innovative ideas could be experimented with to improve their listening skill.
This is good as an abstract. Abstract is always an abstract. Abstract means people don't understand that easily. Another meaning of abstract, right? It's an abstract science means people don't understand. First meaning is it's a synopsis. It's a
Okay.
brief. When you write a paper, it has a meaning which is called a brief synopsis. But abstract in the other way, assume somebody talks about something very brief. Maybe you will be able to follow, but some people will not be able to follow. So how do you explain
Okay.
it to a public who doesn't know all this? When you are reading, it's good for me because I have gone through that once. It is there in my brain. But I'm sure
Huh.
if I ask somebody else, nobody is alive here other than Shahana as far as I am concerned. So I cannot ask somebody else. The video is on, I recognize. Yesterday's video I posted today on my YouTube. Many people were asking, in spite of repeated request, why these teachers are not opening their video. There is a comment also you can see. Actually, it's shame on teachers who are registering for such a program and assume that I don't open my video. How does this class look like?
I know.
Do you like when you go to your class, everybody turns behind and only their back head is shown? Will you be able to teach anything to them? So it shows
Obviously not.
basically teachers are not interested. It is just to get a certificate they are here. I am so glad when at least Sahana has sent me that. So forget about who is there here. For me, there is only one person. So I cannot ask somebody else, what did you understand? If somebody else opens, I am very glad if they can open and tell me what did they understand from reading. If you did not, Shahana can read it once again, line by line, explain it thoroughly. Assume that nobody is doing it. So tell me, what is it? Okay, now Sanjay Singh is kind enough. Do you understand Sanjay Singh? What is that Shahana spoke just now? You have to unmute, Amma.
Sir, I can't understand.
Where are you from, Sanjay? Yesterday did you came? Did you open your video? Did you introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. I am Priya Singh from Lucknow.
Priya. Okay. Now Shahana can explain it again line by line with more elaborate.
Okay. Just let me open it.
You could ask
So
questions,
what my
Sanjay.
objective was to make the children listen in the class, because quite
Okay.
often you
Now
are
let
saying
me
in the class-
let me ask you, Shahana. Instead of reading through that, I will ask you. Now you said listen. Every child has got ears. Every child has got eyes. All the indriyas will start functioning perfectly well. We are not talking about handicapped children, not specially abled children. So the second part of your sentence was in the class. Okay, now they are listening. Everyone has got ear, they will listen. No, they will hear sound. The
Yes.
hearing is different from listening. That means there are a lot of people now, all of them are hearing probably my sound. Only two people are listening. One is Sanjay is listening, Shahana is listening. Listening means much higher in order. Do you believe or do you think at early childhood a tiny child at the early age will listen or hear?
they will hear, because they get distracted very easily.
Everybody. Now tell me, how do you convert this hearing into listening is the question.
So we have to have kind of activities, then we can grab their attention.
No. See, it is true not even to tiny tots.
Okay.
Even at the highest class. I don't know, one word which most of the teachers use in class is your attention, please. Listen to me. Look at me. Understood? All these, even at the engineering college or master's level, teachers keep repeating. Look at me. Listen, please. In between, they will ask, did you follow? Have you understood? These are all nicknames for many teachers because they keep repeating it many number of times. Why? Because the students are always like that, not from tiny. As they grow, it becomes much worse. In the tiny classrooms, their hearing and listening, even they don't even hear what the teacher is speaking in the higher class. In the tiny classes, it is much more better because you make them to repeat. So one of the best thing to grab their attention, there is a Nane's principle that is applicable into any teaching methodology. 9 principles of classroom technologies. One of them is grab the attention. How do you grab the attention? So generally when you go to class, you will ask them to clap. Some activities are given in which their attention is grabbed. Second one, you will make them to repeat. It's very simple. But that is not again listening. Repeating is only a motor job. Listening has got much higher. You understand. Now just now, soon after Shahana read it, I was asking Preeti Singh to correct, no? Preeti Singh, no? When the name is Sanjay, I can only prompted to read Sanjay. Understood?
Priya Singh.
Yeah. What you do is rename it. It doesn't make any difference, no? You click there on 3 button, rename it so that it becomes easy for the other person to realize, right? So what happens is now when you repeat it, it becomes inborn inside. That doesn't mean they understand the meaning. The listening means they understood the meaning. Correct? So for which what is required? You need to show them. See, assume that if I keep on telling voice recorder, voice recorder, voice recorder, voice recorder, You repeat it voice recorder, but they don't have an imagination in their brain. What is a voice recorder? So if I show them like this and say this is voice recorder, their next indriya becomes active there. Understood? So always listening needs multiple indriyas to work. That is why even when we are speaking, we say look at me. My mouth goes up and down, they are seeing it. When I say A, hearing A is good enough, but hearing A will not work. You know, mostly when you talk to children, you look at their face and ask them to look at you, so that the pronunciation becomes perfect. Got it? So that single word, listening in classroom, has a great meaning. Not only in early childhood, in the highest of the highest. I keep saying most of the teachers are beggars in the classroom. Because they keep begging, listen to me, look at me, please, please, please. Why please, please, please? Because nobody is attending, nobody is listening. Correct? Yeah, next sentence. Like this, when you look at it more closely, now what should I do to make them listen? Not just hearing. Showing is important. Understood? Showing is important. Yeah. Next line.
Read now.
Yeah. We are going to explain it. It's not a small problem.
Okay.
It's one of the most important problem in not even in the small childhood classrooms. I liked it. Really, I liked it when I read it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Listening is described as an art that should be cultivated from an early age, as it serves as a fundamental building block for learning and performance.
Yeah, that's a very generic statement. Without that, nobody can get into. That's true with anything. Yeah.
This research acknowledges that without careful listening, a child's ability to communicate effectively and participate in various activities may be hindered.
Yeah. Now, how the communication happens? I am communicating because I have got lot of vocabulary with me. Number one. Vocabulary is not communication. More than that, what is required is creativity. If I cannot create a sentence, I will not be able to communicate, though I have lot of words with me. Got it? So the creativity and communication goes together. By birth, all children are creative. By birth, all of us are creative. By birth, all of us are creative. But what happens is, in most of the situations, our creativity is not pampered well. It has been pressed so much. We will not allow people to see. Yesterday also I was telling, no, when something is seen, children will grab it and ask, what is this, what is this, what is this, what is this. We tell them, keep quiet, don't disturb. Why are they asking what is this? That is creativity. The quest is the beginning for creativity. When there is a thunder and lightning, if I don't ask somebody why is it, where is it coming from, how is it happening, why every day it is not there, why it is only before the rain. Got it? That quest is what is making me to understand further and further and further. A research starts with a quest. Every one of us have got by birth this quest, because this is the only creation in the world, except some people who are here. Their Dhishana Shali is not there. Dhishana Shali is the thought process doesn't work. Now they are hearing, but they are not responding. Response is the first inner sense is called response. Reaction is repeatedly you keep telling, give punishment, tell you that without that I will not give certificate, then they open, that's called reaction. Reaction is with an external force. With the external force they may open the video, but still they will not be here. Their mind will be somewhere else, they are not concentrating, they have no attention, they have no interest. Understood? Response means what? They respond to the situation. It's instantaneous. It is an internalized word. Every child responds to situations. So they are not very reactive. That is why repeatedly if you tell also they don't listen. Because they don't care. You punish, no problem for me. You tell me, no problem. Give me punishment, no problem. They don't care. So what is required is, how do you make children more responsive? That's an inner born quality should come out. How does it happen? To make them happy, make them more free, make them more enjoyable, make them more connected to what you are speaking. Probably DrTPS is not able to make the other people who are here more connected to me. I am not that attractive. Assume that Amitabh Bachchan comes on a screen and then ask all of you show the face. Will they not show? Correct? Assume that you are with somebody else who is a very VVIP, in which you are in a group. Don't you send a message to them? You will do it. Understood? So definitely it will come. See, in our group also, when some of my posting comes, I am looking at who are all the people responding. Some people don't respond, but immediately somebody's name come, immediately they respond there, because they love such people. Somebody may not love the other people. No, so it's always there is a favoritism. Children have all this. Assume the teacher is so colorful. Understood? You look so glamorous. Your sari color is so anything in RGB, red, blue, green. There are some attractions to the colors, the activities. Your classroom itself should have an ambience. I was telling the other day, I have got a concept called the Grandma Child Care Shiksha Gurukulam. Every day what I do is, my concept is, you will not have same wall every day in your classroom. The wall itself will change. You will have different posters coming. Assume that you put one poster of an animal picture there. Every day the same picture, nobody will look at it. You will take it for granted. But assume that one day there is an elephant and next day I put the fish there. Definitely the child will come and ask, why the elephant is not there, where it has gone. Are you grabbing attention by this or not? So children don't like monotony. They like changes. You wear the same uniform and then go to LKG classroom. They hate you actually. Understood? So I am against such things. Even they don't talk to their neighbor student. I am sure if a neighboring student on a birthday have got a different dress, you can see the other children will go and then look at them and then pull their dress and then look at it. That means grabbing attention is when there is color, difference. It's so horrible. Nursery, LKG, UKG, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 has got uniforms. The teachers have got uniforms. No, it should be colorful. Everyday change. The classroom should be changed. Understood? I have a concept in which the other day I was telling you, write down what are all what you have as a concept of classroom. You have a wall, you have a door, you have a chalkboard, you have got a table, you have got a chair, you have got a desk for students. These are all not anything to make them creative, communicative. Assume that one day you remove all these and make the classroom vacant. You know the children will come and start shouting and then talking to you. So every day there has to be a change. Is it not boring for a young child to see everything same every day? So restricted, so systematic. Don't think that it is making them indisciplined. Discipline is entirely different from formatting. You are making a format. The freedom is not there even if you keep on telling them something. No. Assume you change your sari color, you change your hairdress, you change. That is why in some places you can see they use a mask. The entry itself, the teacher will stand and ask you, if you tell like this, I will shake hand with you. If you tell like this, I will hug you. If you tell like this, I will give a flying kiss to you. This can be the instruction to the children on one day. Next day morning you stand there and show like this. Immediately they will understand what do you mean. It's a new thing, which never happened in the classrooms. Don't you think the children will have listening skill? So these are all small tricks. Okay. That is why the last sentence I made, there can be multiple.
Yes.
The dabba can have multiple songs, multiple things. That's only one exercise. Every day you cannot do that. Repeat it 3 times, 3 days, finished. They will not be listening. Creative, everyday creative, different things. They see, when I I am from South India, we give idli to children. They don't like idli in the same style. So what do I do one day? The idli is round. I will make a carrot, cut in the shape of a mouth. Another 2 will be some small black ones, maybe drakshi, which is dried drakshi, I will put there. So it looks like a smiling face. Understood? Next day I will mix some juice of beetroot and then put in the idli, and then idli becomes reddish. I did all this to my young children. So we never want to feed them. They look at it and they are happy, no?
Yes.
Understood? In my childhood, this was done to me by my mother. When they make dosha, they don't make a round dosha. One day it will be like a rabbit shape. Another day it will be something else. So every day I am eager to know what is that. And what am I eating? The rabbit ear I am eating. The rabbit another ear I eat. It becomes so happy, no? Don't you make I am so lucky that, no? See, I had such small things which makes lot of difference in children. These are all, that is why I said we have to do lot of such experiments. It is not a great thing which nobody can do it. But these are all small things which makes large difference in the children. But you cannot do it when there is a restricted, everybody has to come in uniform. I don't understand why is it required. Understood? So these are all the things which makes and what is to be done? Oh, with the uniform I taught. What is research? With the uniform I taught last year. Result was like this. I found that attention is very less. Now 10 of your teachers decide that we will try this experiment next 1 month and see how children faces are after this. Finished. It's done. I did lot of such experiments. Blind children. I asked them to make India map. Do you think they have a concept of India map? Ask them to draw. You must see how the maps are drawn by blind children. 5 of them say. No, nothing will happen. Not as young child. I am saying at the little seniors. They couldn't draw. But what I did was I created a bathymetric map. You know what is bathymetric map is? Make a model with the mud or something. Ask them to touch this. And each of the place, like Kerala state, I put little coconut shells. Wherever rice is grown, I put rice. Wherever tea is put, I put tea. They touched all these and then learned that they could even draw state boundaries without mistakes. Understood? So even one Indriya is not working, children can have concentration, attention, they can learn. I learned a different language. My mother tongue is Malayalam, Kerala. I went for my PhD in Bangalore, Karnataka. Karnataka had a rule. If I have to become a teacher in the highest university also, I must know basic Kannada language. Otherwise, they will not give me job in Karnataka. So what I did is, I learned Kannada language in the classroom. And the teacher was so wonderful teacher. He knows all of us can understand English. Generally, how language is taught? We will give the words or the sentence in Kannada language, translate in English and make us to learn. But he was not that teacher. He was like a KG's teacher. He taught me, it, nanna talai. Idu nanna talai. Repeat. Many times we repeated like a KG student. I realized this is the method to learn language. So tala I may not understand. But then what he did? Idu nanna phone. So difference is idu nanna is common. This is phone. This is tala. I learned 2 words. Idu means this. Idu nanna my phone. Idu ninna. Ninna means you. This is how repeat 5 times, 6 times. We all learned it. Immediately he asked, tell your friend, show some other item and then tell. So what we did? We showed the next fellow saying that, Idu ninna flask. Idu nanna flask. We started repeating many times like this. So it's activity. Even don't think that it is only for KG. Even at the highest level, learning concept, learning language, communication. Your word says we wanted to learn how to communicate. The communication comes only. And second term, I need to have that language so that I can use it. If I have to eat my tiffin in a hotel, I want to tell that I want dosha. I want chapati. So I want to know, I want. How do I tell? Chapati is chapati. So I only learned the translation I want. Beku, finished. Chapati beku, finished. And when he put the sabji, enough I have to learn. So I said saku. So I learned only beku saku. I can eat well in the hotel. If you go to Karnataka, beku means I want. When the rice, somebody goes with a kettle with a rice, beku means he will come and supply me, right? Saku means enough. So 2 things.
Enough.
See the requirements. Every child learns language like this. I want, how do a 1-year-old child don't speak their mother tongue also? At the age of 3, they speak their mother tongue without much grammatical mistakes. That means in 2 years, age 1 to age 3, somebody can learn a language. You can imagine from age 3 to grade 3, you know, they can actually learn 20,000 words. 20,000 words they can learn. If you can learn 20,000 words in that child that time, the whole life you are a best communicator. Because our neurons get automatically engaged with sufficient memory and it allocates. Tomorrow if I don't have space, it will remove something and put another language there. Allocation happens in the childhood. That is why in childhood, we are making them to by heart so many words.
Yes.
Without even knowing meaning. I have learned lot of slokas in my childhood. Because without that, I will not get food. Night dinner comes to me only if I finish chanting all the slokas. It doesn't mean I understood the meaning. It took another 35 years. Age of 40 only I learned the meaning of those slokas. But what happened was that memorizing has given me the power to memorize. So one is communication, one is understanding, one is listening. But more than that, memorizing is the biggest ability which we have to teach every child in the early childhood. Memorizing is a great, I cannot do it, Shahana cannot do it at this age.
You are right.
But your children will learn. I told you yesterday, you give me 10 children, half an hour, I can make them to learn 50 countries and capitals. But don't ask DrTPS to learn it. I will not be able to learn it. I can make them to learn. Understood? When you are a coach, you cannot play the cricket. But a coach can make the players to play cricket. So we are all like that. So understand, we have to use a technology in which, a method in which, we can use technologies also. Technology, method, many things can be used in which you make children to have more attention.
Yeah.
That can be storytelling. Traditionally, we had this storytelling in the villages. What do we do? Me and 10 people will sit around and then tell you, I will start with a story. Okay, the story can be, there was a crow in a pond. Now, the crow is my starting point. Now, you cannot use crow. You can use pond and add some other activity in the pond. Understood? So now you will tell something else. I don't know if these people are not active, I cannot do anything. Otherwise I can show how it happens, right? At least some people should open their video and then become participative. It's a problem. I don't see in the classroom you cannot teach anybody with one individual. So it is always a group activity. So communication comes only when there is a group, active group. So in KG classes, why do you want a lot of children? You can play a lot of games like this, which is not vocabulary alone. That's why I said communication plus creativity goes together. So definitely the child will say there was a snake also in the pond. Now the pond is to be removed, only snake has to be there. With the snake you should do something else. And the story goes on like this. When it comes to the second round, I will ask the first person who started, repeat the whole story in the sequence. Memory works, vocabulary came, creativity came, memory came. You become a writer tomorrow like this. Only when you are participative. I am sure most of the children will participate. But if you repeat the same thing 10 times, they know this teacher is going to repeat the same word 10 times. I can learn with once. Why should I listen the first time? Let them tell, after some time I will listen. Because learners have got different styles. Some learners are highly discovery, highly imaginative children. They will not listen to routine repetitions in the class. They want creative teachers. Because learners are also different. But you cannot satisfy everybody in same style. So what do? You repeat. When you repeat, some children don't sit quiet. They will disturb somebody else. Because they'll already learned in the first instance. Understood? So they are not listening doesn't mean they did not learn. They have learned and then they kept quiet. They cannot keep quiet. They will disturb somebody else. So it's a very, that's why yesterday I said my father is not same, my mother is not same. So my learning abilities are different. My class also have to be different. So how do you do in such cases? You have to make groups with smart students. We know at once they will learn. Second time telling they will disturb somebody else. Now what do you do? That ability to disturb somebody else you have to convert as a creative teaching ability. So make that student as the leader, add one or two people there, tell this boy you already learned. Now your job is to teach these two people, and when they pass the examination, you become the first in the class. The teacher can take rest, you can give the assignments for many students to become leaders. You create leaders. Different method. When I met the last line which I wrote, you can use different technology to have attention, different methods to do attention. Now I am telling on the fly some methods like this. I am sure 10 teachers sit together and think like this, like the way I am now discussing with SHAHANA. If SHAHANA can make a beautiful group, don't you think a lot of new ideas will come out and creativity will come, and then your class becomes so good, everybody shares, I tried this in my classroom, it was working, and you try this in your classroom, let us see whether it is working. Tomorrow you come with a new idea. This is what is called
brainstorming session.
This is what is, yeah. Every day there is, today I got this new idea, let us try this. All of you can try. Somebody else will come, I got, okay, I will try this, I will try that also. See which is working better. Got it? Students also will be thrilled. Let me see what teacher is going to do today. Something different will come from my teacher, right? Definitely it will happen. Very, very easy. I'll tell you, when I went to America, from India, from Kashmir to Kerala, Gujarat to Assam, many people who settled in that local city of Columbus. That's where I went. Lot of students from age 3 to 13 were there in my camp. All of them, parents have got only one complaint. My kids don't know mother tongue. They don't know how to write because they all took birth in America. They don't know how to write, how to read their mother tongue. As great credit they were telling. I am trying for last 8 years, it is not happening. I don't know what to do. and you are here, tell us how to teach this. I did all very simple thing. All the parents, the first Sunday was the start, Monday was the actual camp starting, but Sunday we had a parents meet because that's a holiday when all the parents will come. Evening we had a session. I said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I am going to call the local press, and the press fellow will come, take a picture, how did I taught these children to write their mother tongue, and they will demonstrate it on the whiteboard. I cannot teach Gujarati, Bangla, Assamese, all the languages. I know only 1 or 2 languages to read and write. Tell me how many of you, including mother or father, want to see your children in the newspaper? Print it on Wednesday. Teach. I am not asking dictation for everything. Your name, parents' name, which state you are coming from. Only few words I will have a dictation. No, Wednesday morning everybody learned this. Not one. Not their name, parents' name, father's name, grandfather's name. I said write a card and send it to your grandfather who is in the native. They will feel so happy. Understood? I will tell you, 8 years they said we are not able to teach. 2 days I could teach. So there is a motivation. The motivation not to the children alone, to the parents also. So how do you make your children, parents, grandparents, teachers, everybody become one and together work for making your children at the greatest? That is my concept called Grandma Child Care Shiksha Gurukulam. No uniform, no desk, no bench. We'll have only 2-inch sponge with different color raxins. Like maybe 3 feet by 5 feet, small rectangular sheets. Like you have seen the auto rickshaw and all, the seat will be like that. The cycle rickshaw seat will be like that in Delhi, right? Imagine such different colors you put on the ground where children can jump. They can sleep if they don't want to listen to any class, no attention, nothing is required, they want to sleep. Children are like that, they wanted to sleep when they want to sleep. Let them sleep. How does it matter? When they are up, knowledge will come. When they don't want, let them sleep. Got it? So when different colors are there, I am sure one side can be red, the next side can be yellow. One day everything is red and yellow only. Next day it could be green and blue or something like that. They will all feel every day the changing. The class itself is changing. The color itself is changing. Floor itself is changing, which never happens in the class, in their houses. So they will be thrilled to come to your class. I had a place where as the children come, generally nursery, LKG, UKG, children will cry. They don't want to leave their parents. I did a small trick. One side is full mirror in the wall. Do you think any child will like to see them crying? If any child is crying in front of you, ask them, yeah, pose, I am going to click a picture of you. They will stop and smile like this. Very simple trick.
Very good idea, very good idea.
Yeah, so what I did was not only mirror, entry itself have got a very big camera and a big projector outside. The camera will pose when the child comes. If they are crying, they will see them crying in the big camera, the projector. They will not cry, they will smile and come. Understood?
Yeah, no, very good idea.
I'll tell you, SHAHANA starts a nursery school. I will tell hundreds of students will come because parents will be so happy. There is only one school in which the children will smile and go in the classrooms, right? Every parents will be happy. They will be so happy, no? Understood? So there are so many small things which you can do, which makes large difference. All of them are creative. The creativity comes with your imagination. And imagination, there is no limit. No restriction should be there. Freedom should be there. Why that is not given by schools? Because they don't know the teachers are. See, now here how many people are there? So many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 into 15, 20 people are there. But only one SHAHANA is interested. This is how the common people in the teaching faculty. So what will happen? Management cannot do anything. It's unimplementable. That is why it happens. But that is why I said we want to create models in which your experiment of grabbing attention. There is a beautiful sloka in Bhagavad Gita. When so much of lessons were given by Ishvara, Bhagavan Krishna, to Arjuna as a student, he said, I am not able to follow anything. I am not able to concentrate. I am not able to understand what you are saying. Beautiful sloka is there. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. You want knowledge? Shraddha. Concentration is must. Attention is required. After some time he says, no, I am not able to. What you are saying is like stopping a wind. That difficult. You cannot stop a wind by your hand, right? It's that difficult. Impossible. Immediately he says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Practice it, then it becomes so simple for you. Repetition. So it's like a repetition. You have to repeat it. So in that whole book of 700 slokas, you can see many times same thing repeated, but not in same style. Different style, different ways.
This sloka idea is very good. I will try and implement in my preschool. Once easy slokas will be taught to my children. Not every day, the same sloka will be repeated so that the child grab and with the meaning. You look at my Subhashitams, there are a lot of slokas.
Yes,
I will refer.
Okay.
I'll refer that, surely.
And there are tidbits of Bhagavad Gita, in which from Bhagavad Gita, tidbits, only one small sloka explained, that sort of a thing you can see. And there is another book called Nitya Sloka. Every day what is to be chanted. These are all small slokas which are explained with the meaning. Every day chanting what is to be done. So I am sure there are a lot of things which you can do where children will grab. First thing, grab their attention. Right? Grabbing attention is not by calling. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Every day same word. They will not look at you. They will not listen to you. Yeah. I wish somebody else have got little sense.
Nobody is there.
Yeah, this is what happens. But last batch it was little better. We had at least 8 to 10 papers. You can look at last part, where in which lot of papers were read by many people. Many of them. Like now Shahana read. They have sent me continuously, at least 10-15 people would have sent me. I corrected, send it. Last day was, they will read all of them. And there are a lot of different topics which came as research proposals. But there is no point in reading research paper and then finishing it. Actually, now what I said is, this is an idea. I added many more ideas. You have to implement this, and as a result, what change you have seen to be documented, then it becomes a paper. So you can take pictures of your children. See, what I did was, the blind people were drawing the India boundary. Before my technique, they have drawn. After my technique, how did they draw?
Okay.
So there is a change happened. It's a very, very visible change. This is what they have drawn earlier. This is what they have done now. And this, they could do it because my method. Therefore, my method becomes an acceptable method. This is how I prove.
I can go ahead with this research.
100%.
This way.
But don't stop with the two methodology. If you have a good, if you have good team of people, definitely it will work. See, why in a drama I require a different costume? See, I can also say that I am a king and write here king. When I act, will people accept it? I have to have the costume of a king so that I look like a king, right? Understood? An advocate doesn't require a coat to give the legal points, but he has to put a coat. He has to have a specific dress. A police can be a police with an ID card. Why do they need a uniform? To show them in the public that I am a police. So they will get a confidence. Correct? If you look at, there is a beautiful Mahabharata is an Indian story.
Yes.
Many people know when Krishna, Rama, all the kings have got different costumes. Do you think the same costume was there in Africa?
No.
No. So what happened was a Western person has created a Mahabharata.
Acha.
And that is called the Peter Brooks Mahabharata. That's there on YouTube. Peter Brooks Mahabharata. You will see what a costume he has used. Entirely different. So see, nobody knows what was their costume, but somebody created this. So it's an imagination of an artist. Similarly, the child has got an imagination. We have to fill them with different ideas, not one idea.
Fill it with different ideas. You're
Different. So that will happen only when you have a group of people working together with you. So one teacher implementing, there is a limitation. But you have 10 teachers around and then start doing it. You need not have teachers. If you have parents, grandparents, interested people in the society who want to contribute, all of them will come and give different ideas. When you put one idea, definitely the other fellow will put another idea. That is how you grow.
Okay. Surely I'll try this.
Yeah.
And what else I can add into it? Like, can you help me with?
Yeah, see, this can be not necessarily. See, for example, I'll tell you, I remember when I went to Saudi Arabia, I was singing the organizers of the program happened to be from Kerala. But most of the people don't even speak because they took birth there. They don't understand Malayalam. But I was taking a Malayalam song as an example and then sang there. But they were all looking like this as if which language you are speaking. Otherwise the class was in English. But one line of one Malayalam very famous song,
Okay.
they couldn't absorb. The sloka goes like this. Omanatingal kidavo nalla komala tamarappuvo. It says beautiful moon. As if a beautiful moon. Your face is so beautiful as a moon. And that is how what is used for making the child to sleep. It's like a lullaby.
Okay.
But they couldn't understand. So I cannot translate into English, it's so tough. So what I did was, immediately I translated into Hindi. Okay. So, now we understood. See, that is why the NEP says, if Tinkle Tinkle Little Star can be translated into your mother tongue, your local language, the people who understand it. It can be Bhojpuri for the people who are there. It can be Hindi for those people. It can be Bangla. So what I do is take that example and then say, Tinkle Tinkle Little Star, Minnum Minnum Taragame in one language, in Telugu, Mirsu Mirsu Agashamlu in another language. I translate into local language and teach them. I tell teachers, this is what you should do. Teach that English, but teach the meaning. Actually, no children will be able to imagine Tinkle Tinkle Little Star. You are showing it. But they may not be understanding it is star unless you make a star and then show that. But you cannot show them tinkling. When you are doing, you are thinking that tinkling they understood. This is how generally you do. Tinkle tinkle means you will do like this. They don't understand. They will also doing like this without understanding what does it mean. Understood? But how do you get this idea into them? Probably when you translate into that mother tongue, they will catch much faster. And I am sure your children will remember you. Oh, my teacher translated, I understood. Otherwise, nobody will translate those English rhymes into the mother tongue. You make children to do that. If you are not able to do it, there is somebody else from a different mother tongue. Ask the child or write in the diary. Maybe the mother or father, somebody can translate. We will teach that in the class. So, suppose you have got 5 different mother tongues from different states. You teach all the songs to all the children. They are all learning different languages. Why this language of English and chanting is taught? So that children will learn few words. the children will learn different words like this. And those words will become strong in their mind. That's why I said mother tongue, father tongue, other tongue, social tongue, right? Everything will be there with them. At least 5 languages in any city you can grab and then tell people to learn. That 20,000 words will become 30,000. This is only a common sense. But then similarly, so many ideas.
Yes. Sir, can I ask you something else apart from the topic which I have chosen?
Oh yes, anything.
Sir,
No,
there's
sir.
always a DrTPS. There's always a learning gap when a child is promoted from class prep to class 1. Now there's always the teacher is always saying that बच्चे को कुछ नहीं आता है. The child struggles when he goes to class 1. There is endless subjects. There is endless reading material. But the child takes at least 6 months to adapt to those periods and the number of timetable like subjects added to it. The time also increases. So how can we that gap? How can we fill that gap? Like it becomes very difficult. Either we have to cut down the syllabus which we have in class 1, or we have to increase the syllabus in class prep. So it is very difficult when the situation at times, and the children struggles actually. What happens? The children struggle.
Actually,
the parents also they say, "बच्चे को आता नहीं," and then there's a like the school is at fault. ऐसा लगता है कि it's not that.
Actually, the syllabus which is there in any class, including up to the highest classes, it is not very huge. It is very simple. Actually, if you look at it, academic number of working days is average 200 days only. Average 200 days, not 365 days. 200 days only school works. Actual delivery happens only 200 days. In that 200 days, not more than 4 to 6 hours students are in the classroom for learning. Even in the highest 10th class or 12th class. Suppose you take an average of 6 hours. 200 days 6 hours is only 1200 hours. 1200 hours divided by 24 will become 50 days. If it is 24 hours learning. But nobody will learn 24 hours. Assume you learn 8 hours. 1/3 of your time you are learning. Then also you can finish in 150 days. So it's not syllabus. The problem is, like, there are two things which happen when we do promotions. Actually, there is an examination, or it is also called as test. There are two places where test and examination is conducted. One is in the school, and next one is in the medical laboratory. The diagnosis, the doctors will prescribe a test. Urine examination will happen. Blood examination will happen. That's also called examination. Why? When they see the parameter, you have these problems. That's a diagnosis report. It's like a progress report in a class. With that, nobody discharges the patient in a hospital. The doctor will treat them. After the end of the treatment, they will again test it. Everything is 100% perfect. Then only I will discharge the patient. But in schools, what happens is, with all the problems, they are promoted to the next class. You are a good LKG teacher only when you make your children to learn, make eligible to learn the UKG classes. Now assume there are children from different places, different age groups, different schools, transfer, everything is possible at any time. So the first 1 month, you can see that every chapter starting in highest class also, what did you learn so far will be the first chapter. Physics of 10th class, first they will tell what did you learn so far in physics up to 9th class. That means my first priority is to make children to become part of it. How do I make them to learn this and become fit? No teaching, lot of assignments, lot of activities, lot of group work. That's why I said you must find a smart student, a dull student, make a group, ask them to discuss, do homework, lot of activities around, write, finish everything and then learn. Actually no homework is required at all. Class itself you can finish. No textbook is required. Only craft, art, activities, workshop can make your children very good. So it's all tricks and learning practices. How do you do it? Based on situations, based on which part they don't. For which what should be my extra. That can be like a bridge course. Assume that somebody from India goes to America for higher studies. They will not take with your degree certificate as eligible. They will find, oh, this person to read this chapter, this course if they wanted to do, they do what is called a bridge course. So every teacher is supposed to give a bridge course first before I start my classes. Suppose without the bridge course I start my class. That's what most of the time happens. What will happen? Again they go to the next class, they will become. And traditionally, earlier in my childhood, my classmate was somebody who was my brother's classmate, also was my classmate. Elder brother's classmate. 4 years they failed. There was failing. 6th class they failed, 5th class they failed, 7th class they failed, 8th class they failed. When they came to 9th class, 4 years they lost. But today nobody is failing, everybody is passing. So everybody knows without studying, without learning, I can pass. That is why when you see somebody in the highest class also, spelling mistake, I can see a lot of teachers. See, why some teachers are not sending, or some teachers have sent me also. Last batch also there was somebody who kept on sending full of grammatical mistakes. English is so poor. How do I correct it? Understood? There is a limit. I cannot expect somebody who doesn't even know how to write one sentence to write a abstract, right? So I'll tell them, no, you are not, I will not approve it, I will not correct it also. I am wasting my time. You first learn English. So it's essential. Sometimes you will have to give them more work, make them to learn how to communicate, how to write. The other day I went to a school. If you look at the handwriting, it is so horrible. 9th grade child writes English without even first uppercase letter is not there. No paragraph separation. 4 pages, one single paragraph. They don't know how to separate paragraphs. Can you imagine a 9th class in an international school writes an essay as a single paragraph, 4 pages. Imagine. Doesn't mean that they have not seen textbooks in which one page will have at least 5 paragraphs. They have been looking at such books, some little common sense, no? And imagine those teachers who taught them for last so many years as English teachers, they have not even asked them to write. So what happens is, when I select teachers in my academics, when I wanted to select somebody, I don't ask them a lot of questions. I will ask them, give a topic and ask them to write one page and then give it to me. Looking at the page, I know the quality of the teachers, finished. Whichever subject, whether maths, physics, chemistry, biology, if they can write one page on any topic which I give, or choose your topic and tell me you can write it, wonderful. Because speaking, you will not be able to catch very fast. You will have to stop them and say, tell me, somebody else can explain. Yesterday I did that, right? When somebody asked a question, I asked, maybe, did anybody got it? Otherwise people will think I did not got, I told that. I want to prove that your communication is not good. It takes an effort. But once you write, it becomes easy. So you need lot of such activities are to be done with the students. Our idea is not to make them pass. Our idea is not to make them fail. Our idea is to make them learn.
So what you suggest is a bridge course which we should have when the child goes from class prep to class 1. It's a very good idea, and I'll try to implement this. This is very important.
And then make them to learn with a lot of group activities. So you don't put your effort to do all this. There are bright children, there are weaker children. Always there is a saying, peer groups learning makes it much easier. Peer groups learning makes it much easier. So instead of the teacher teaching, you ask the students to discuss each other and learn, they will become more successful and faster. They know how to communicate to their friends. Suppose one person learned the song, you ask the child to teach the song to somebody else. Finished. Done. Your job is less and they will learn faster also. They will have a competition. Assume that 5 children learned. You give these other 5 children, allot to each one of them and tell them, I am not going to test you, I am going to test the child who you taught. You know, the competition will be much higher. These are all small tricks.
So one more thing. I'm asking questions to.
You
many.
can ask many. I love people who ask questions. The whole purpose is to discuss.
So there's always a struggle that what kind of writing you should have. Either it is cursive or print.
Always
What
print.
you should focus.
Curse is not at all correct, not at all good.
Print writing.
Yeah, that is actually.
Thank you so much.
Actually,
Thank
the Montessori style, the Christian missionaries propagated this, which is never accepted.
I know. I always insisted print, and whatever like the child is comfortable in.
Yeah, I will give you.
Ultimately,
I will give you another great trick, Shahana. Most of the time, what happens is when you have got a copywriting, on the top of the page it is printed, and you are asking them to copy from top to bottom. So the top is written, you are asking them next write like this. So the first line when they write, they look at the top and copy. Next line, actually they are not looking at the top. What they have written is what they are looking.
Achha.
So what happens is, you can see when you correct the copywriting, if there is one mistake, the teacher can mark everything wrong in one line. Every word the same mistake. Another one, they will either become, the distance between the letters makes the handwriting beautiful. In a word, from word to word, the distance have to be very good. I make children to write beautifully. Handwriting courses are there. So sometime what happens, it becomes like a convergent or divergent. Distance doesn't say same uniform. That is because they are looking on the top line and writing bottom, again bottom, and bottom like that. The last, when they reach the last, it becomes so horrible. So there is a small trick. What you should be done is, don't write from top to bottom, write from bottom to top.
Achha.
Ask them to write the bottom line first. When I write in the bottom, where am I looking? The print one I am looking. When I write the next line, what I am looking? On the top. Each one becomes an experiment for me. I will never make same mistakes. I will always improve. This small change from top to bottom, bottom to top, difference, finished.
And they will also enjoy, you're making a change.
They will enjoy it. So all small tricks. Got it? Now you have 4 lines. Now imagine there is a 4 line. Instead of 4 line, ask them to put 4 dots at the corners and then start writing. So they will learn, oh, this is how I should change. You can either have 90-degree vertical or slightly inclined also can be written. So how do we do that? We can draw lines inclined. So you can know how tilted also looks sometimes beautiful. Slightly tilted. It all depends on what you want to do. But make sure uppercase, lowercase, when you write G, the first part is only there, the bottom it goes. The 4-line copying has to be practiced up to 3rd grade. Every child has to do this. My brother had a beautiful handwriting. He was a professor of zoology. So he is no more. But his class, his teaching notes, which he prepared, is in my library. In the center of the library, I kept it very safe. It must be around 50 years old. It is so print. You are asking the print style. he will write A in a print style only. He will write G in a print style only. I also learned that. So if I have to write give, I will write Give. G will be like this. I don't write G like this also. I have learned how to write that print style, real print style. It's all your practice. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Practice it every day, you become really good. Handwriting has to be perfect. No question. Paragraph separation should happen. Sentence by sentence they must know. Distance between words have to be correct. In a word, distance between letters have to be uniform. If all these are there, it looks so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was like I got many ideas. I really got many ideas.
I'm so happy at least one. Imagine if Shahana is also not there, what would have been my state? I don't talk to computer, I don't talk to pay. Here I am seeing A, S, B, K, D, E, some letters and some faces of some ugly faces and some nice faces. They are not able to show their face when you attend a class. That's why I told Masuda also, I don't like webinars. I want physical classes only. Right? I don't. Actually, that too specially for teachers. If it is for, suppose I give for an insurance company, also I give classes. I give some spiritual classes. Everybody's face will be there. Teachers, very, very difficult. Many times we'll have to make them force. There are, at least you are there one. Out of now how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 into 20 people, only one. 8, 19 people, only one is showing face. But I am sure all of them will ask certificate. I don't know what they do with the certificate without knowledge. And no question, no understand. And what happens is after this session, see the idea is, now Shahana has my number. We are in communication. I corrected some abstract. One batch is over, abstract is corrected, finished. Then no communication at all after that. It's not finished with one, no. You could also think about how am I going to implement. That communication should happen. That doesn't happen sometimes. Now Harshika got up. Good morning, Harshika. She was on bed, sleeping peacefully. Harshika Jaswal.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah. You have anything to ask? Were you here? Were you listening all this?
Yes, sir. The
Yeah.
last session I already attended, but due to some reasons I can't able to open my camera.
Okay.
And then today I'm later joined.
Where are you from?
From Lucknow, sir.
Lucknow only. I think all of
Also,
that.
just from Lucknow, belong from Lucknow.
Yeah, I never
I'm
never
also
knew.
from the Art in the Academy.
Many people are from Lucknow. I don't know. Lucknow had
Exactly,
a
sir.
bad face for every people. Lucknow people
No,
have
no.
got very horrible faces or what? They don't want to show their faces.
They are beautiful, sir. Most of. And you asked yesterday about the speciality of Lucknow. The food is the speciality, main Nawabs.
I know. Because there is a
Historical
beautiful,
monuments.
there is a beautiful Hindi movie in which a daughter and a father, the daughter wanted to go to Canada. She wanted to earn lot of money for getting that, and she travels from Hyderabad and then gave a proposal, and then a hoteler there falls in love with her and then pay a lot of money, and there is a big beautiful Hindi drama movie there. That is how I know Lucknow. All the district cities and food and everything is beautifully shown there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Lucknow is basically mainly known by the food.
Food, yeah.
And food and Nawab and Tehzeeb.
Yeah.
You can say Tehzeeb, respect, language, talk,
True.
all.
True.
Yes, sir.
That movie depicts that beautifully.
Whenever you come here, you will like it. Definitely.
I don't come. When somebody calls me with a program, then only I travel.
Okay.
I only travel when I've got some schedule, classes, programs. I kept traveling last few months. If you look at DrTPS, you will see me in Punjab, you will see in West Bengal, you will see me in Calcutta, you will see in Kathmandu, you will see me in Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana.
I'm expecting
Every place.
we will see you Lucknow also.
Hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully. I was there in Jharkhand. So I went via Lucknow actually.
Okay.
And Jharkhand I went to Devaghar.
Okay.
The Devaghar, we have a beautiful temple. So you can see DrTPS Devaghar. The spelling is Deoghar, Deoghar. What I do is I collect a lot of videos and beautiful video I will make for the place where I went. So you can see a beautiful video created by me. I was there in Kashi. I went to Chandigarh. I went to Shimla. All these places I went around last 3-4 months. I keep traveling, lot of trips and classes, but yeah. Hope, let us see. So, any question, Harshika?
Sir, just give me some time.
Yeah, always welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So, I keep saying this webinar for teaching research methodology is not 2 days. Actually, what I did last time was 3 days, but before that 1 week itself I started interacting with the teachers. They had sent me message. In the group was created 1 week before. So I said, if anybody wanted to write this, these are all instructions, get back to me with the paper. So by the time I started, many people were ready with the papers. So it became much more easier. And once 1 or 2 people present, the next 2 people wanted to present it. So it becomes like, many people did it parallelly. So we need a good group. Without a good group, nothing works.
Right. And sorry for yesterday also.
No issue. For me, no problem. I am into this every day. Right. I do for one person also. Hours together I invest for one person. If somebody comes to me say that no, I want to learn this, I invest. You can see most of my videos are one student, one interaction. So it doesn't matter whether there are 100 people or one person. For me, one person is good enough. Who will discuss thoroughly, understand, good enough. So happy. That's what I'm saying. If Shahana did not write today and then did not had this discussion, I would have just left after 5 minutes saying that tata bye bye to everybody, nobody's camera is open. That also I do because I don't care what happens. I am a freelancer. I am into social service. So I wanted to use my time for a betterment of somebody else. One person, good enough.
Thank you so much for your guidance, Dr. TPS. I was a little hesitant about sending the topic. I was feeling that whether it will be okay, because I had this kind of experience when I was teaching. So I thought it will be a good idea.
No, you yourself must have seen. You look at the first thing what you wrote and the end what I corrected and sent.
Yes. Whatever I sent, and when you had sent, the entire change thing was really very nice.
Yeah, what I do
very
is
nicely.
I read some 3-4 times and then start typing. It just comes. I actually posted and then deleted because there are some small things which I thought should extend a little bit, and then I remade it again. So once or twice.
Very nicely formulated. Very nicely done.
You can submit it and then maybe you can make a presentation. The idea itself can be there, if not implementable also. Doesn't matter. Okay.
I will surely go ahead with it.
Yeah.
Definitely I'll go ahead.
Hopefully we will see in Delhi.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay then. All the best.
Okay. Thank you
I
so
think
much.
we are
Thank you so much.
calling it off little early.
Dr. TPS. Masuda ma'am, thank you so much.
All the time. Anytime you can, if this happens or doesn't happen, anytime my number is there for all of you. My number is there, doesn't matter whether you are present here, whether you made it or not. I will not keep anything in mind. Finished. My job is over. I close the chapter.
I will surely take any help if I require.
Yeah.
If I face any problem, I'll definitely be in touch with you.
No, don't treat me like a doctor. When you have a problem, go to them. Without a problem also, you can say hi.
Sure.
So we will connect to you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so
After all,
much.
you are doctor.
God bless
So
you. Bye.
that's it.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.